Hi everyone, I'm coming to you today from my office here at Fusion Studio, and I'm not sure if you can see, but right outside the window here is the beautiful Cedar River that many times I just come here when I need a little peace and calm, a little time for introspection, and I sit and just stare at the river and just watch the water. It always brings such comfort to me. And as I was watching it today, I was just thinking about the nature of the river itself, and that it's always flowing, it's always changing, it's always shifting. And that might be a nice theme for our class today. This importance of accepting the fact that change is always present. The only thing that remains the same is that nothing remains the same. And so when we have resistance to that, when we are not, let's say, aligning with reality, the reality is things change, then we create suffering for ourselves. Not intentionally, but it's just our human nature. So my hope for us today during this practice is that you experience a positive shift or change of some type. Maybe it's in your physicality, in your physical body. You might just need a shift there, maybe comfort. It might be in your energetic level. Maybe you're feeling a little tired, a little stressed. Perhaps you get an increase in energy. It could be that you feel a beautiful shift of perspective, a mental shift, and or an emotional shift. Maybe you've been stuck in a certain emotion for a while, and this practice can help you move away from that. After all, yoga and meditation are amazing change agents. And usually what happens at the end of a practice is that you feel a shift in all of these areas, and you end up feeling this deep sense of well-being and from just knowing that everything is going to be okay. Change happens, and we need to be able to flow with that and not fight against it. So I hope you enjoy this practice today, and thank you for joining me. So as we begin our practice today, some props you may need. You know your body, but I'm going to be having 2 blocks nearby and also a belt. If your shoulders feel a little tighter, on the tighter side, have a nice belt. If you don't have a belt, you could have an old necktie or the belt off of your robe or something you can find around your house. So we'll begin. I want you to take a comfortable seat, and what we mean by that is you want your knees to be a little lower than your pelvis, or at least level to the pelvis. So we don't want the knees to be up here. You might need to sit up a little higher. Again, this is a little more of an intermediate practice, so I'm assuming that you know most of this, but in case you're tuning in and you're newer, I just want you to know a few of these extra techniques and alignment that can help you. So take a nice seat and close your eyes. And just let the hands rest on your thighs. And we begin this simple process of dropping into ourselves. And once the outer eyes close, we have an opportunity to now open our inner eyes to look deep inside and just to explore for a moment, be curious. How am I today? With everything around me shifting, changing in some way, how am I reacting to that today? Be open to the change that will inevitably happen through this practice. Be willing to be open and receptive as we practice to not only the change, but perhaps your resistance to change. The body might feel resistance to what you're asking it to do. So let's begin with Ujjayi breath. We'll start with the mouth open at first, and then we'll close it. So if you're new to it, take a nice breath in through your nose And then slowly open your mouth and make the sound ha, like the ocean. And again, inhale through the nose. Exhaling. One more with the mouth open. Inhale. And continue breathing in this way, but let the mouth stay closed on the exhalation. And that sound will then lightly resonate in the back of your throat. So continue for another minute with just simply Ujjayi breath, which is very calming and soothing to the nervous system, to the vagus nerve. Breath by breath, you'll begin to inhabit your body more. Breath by breath, you'll begin to downshift your mind. Inviting your awareness to stay present on each individual breath. You might start noticing now on your exhales, perhaps a releasing happening in your legs, your feet, your pelvis, a settling. Continue a few more rounds of Ujjayi breath. Allowing the breath to return to its normal state. Whether you perceive it or not, everything is constantly changing. The environment, the weather, the economy, technology, culture, your friends and family, your body, everything. And the better able you are to embrace change in what is happening in your world, the easier it will be for you to live your best life. Please join the hands together in front of your heart and bowing in that direction of the heart. May this practice nourish us today, and may it teach us to be open and receptive and aware of the changes around us and within us. And both on the mat today and in our lives, we ask for divine grace to guide us, support us, and uplift us. Lifting your head and release your hands, let your eyes come open. And let's begin. So we're going to come to a standing position. And go ahead and take your feet hip width apart and put a little tiny bend in your knees. And from here, take your arms and open them wide to the side. Just reach up tall through your spine. Yeah, like, I am open to change, world. Open to shifting. And then lean to your left. Lean to your left and extend your arm up. And then let's switch to the second side. And just notice where you are right now. I'm noticing some resistance in my body. It shows up in the form of perhaps stiffness. And then come back to center. Bring both arms above your head. Interlace your fingers and turn your palms upward. And just extend nice and high. Create some space. And then do a really slow circle. So you're going to open your arms and just slowly, slowly, slowly let them cascade down to your sides. Awesome. Then separate your feet now as wide as your mat. Bend your knees. Come into this position with your hands on your thighs, and we'll begin warming up the spine. So as you inhale, lengthen, lifting the heart. And as you exhale, initiate from your tailbone and region, start to draw under. And let that ripple up your spine as you eventually coil into a cat pose. On your next breath in, and wait for your breath, start to lift and lengthen upward. You can implement the Ujjayi breath here for the entire practice. I encourage you to do that. Exhaling round again. Inhaling, lifting, extending, and exhaling round, and look within. Maybe where in your life are you being resistant to change at this time? Release your hands down your legs and let your head bobble, dangle, move around a little. Sometimes I even like to just take my hands and massage my scalp a little. And then from here, bend your knees and place your hands on your upper thighs. Lift the chest up, holding here at the top, and in this position, nice tone for your core. And then stand all the way up. Standing on your left leg, bring your right leg up behind you in Bekasana frog pose, and you can extend the left arm on up. Checking in on the quadriceps. And just lengthen up through your spine. You're welcome to hold a wall here, something or anything nearby you, a piece of furniture. And if you can't reach your foot, you can put a belt around your foot. And then release on down. Second side, so ground your right foot and bring the opposite leg up. Nothing takes us to the present moment like a balance pose. So we're starting here right away. And then release on down, yes. So we're gonna do an arm pattern here with our breath. So I call this back breathing. You'll inhale, round your arms, and fill up your back. Exhale, open, 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 open. And then inhale the arms above your head. And exhale, pull the arms all the way down to shoulder height. Again, inhale, round back, draw the ribs back. Exhaling, open, lifting the heart. Inhale, arms stretch up. And exhale back to your sides. One more time. Inhale, round. Exhale, open. Inhale up. Exhale, come all the way down, this time forward fold. Inhale, pranam, extending forward. And exhale, ujjayi breath, hearing that sound, and release. Again, inhale, prana. And even open the mouth as you exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, reaching up to stand up. And exhale, hands to the heart center. Stepping towards the front of your mat. Maybe you're already there, but I wasn't. Inhale the arms, stretch them all the way up. And then exhale, forward fold, down you go. You always can have a block here in front of you as well, something to press into. Inhale, pranam, extend. And then exhale, bow. Bending your knees, bring your hips down. And then come upright with the hands at the heart center. Pausing here, just letting your awareness drop down into your feet, your legs, your pelvis. grounding our mental and emotional energy down into the lower extremities, very beneficial. And then bend or twist to your right, bring your left elbow across in side prayer. Just pausing here, a gentle pressure with your top hand down into your bottom hand. And you can look straight out or perhaps turn your head and look up. And then coming back to that chair position, pausing here, nice tall spine. And twisting to your left. Pressing top hand down to bottom. And then reaching down towards the floor. Let your head release once again. Making a step back with your right leg into a deep lunge position. Just pause here for a moment and let the hips sway side to side. And then stepping your right foot forward and left foot back. And again, just let the hips move side to side. And then stepping on back to your first downward facing dog. From here, begin to bend your knees. Let them drop down closer to the mat for a little bit here. Just pausing, maybe slightly bouncing, and then extending back up. Keeping the shoulders moving forward, and the heart can go back, but mindful that the shoulders don't drop down here. We really value our shoulders, right? So keep the shoulders rising while the chest pushes back gently. And now from here, just bend your knees and lower down to Child's Pose. A chance to just downshift in your breath. Ujjayi, nice and slow here. As we're warming up and just really establishing the pace of our practice. So connect to your breath. Set your intention to be open to change, both internally and externally. And then lifting on up, coming to all fours position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Extend your left leg straight back and cross over the midline. And then swivel your right leg on out and transfer your weight onto the right arm and just extend the left arm up and over. You might feel like opening this up a little more, leaning back, perhaps even grounding the sole of your left foot. And then as you come out, let the arm initiate. So the arm comes around. Go slowly, even round your back into a cat position. There's lots of treasures to be found in slow movement as you transition back to all fours. And now the right leg extends back, crosses the midline. Swivel the left foot out, and then just a slow unfolding, slowly opening. Let the arm initiate as you come around. Round your back here, oh, delicious. And then come back into all fours position. From here, extend your right leg straight back and draw up through your core and left arm out in front of you, reaching long. And then bend your back leg, reach around with your hand, and if you can find a foot, hold it. If not, you can just make this shape. So the spine is moving towards a cobra, and as you hold the foot and kick back, and breathe here, Ujjayi breath for focus. And then slowly release. And let's do the left. Extending our back. Take a moment to engage through your abdomen. And right arm comes out first, lengthen. And bend the back leg, reach the arm around. And again, it's not imperative that you hold the foot, but if it's available, do so. If not, just make that beautiful shape. And heart moves forward as you kick back. The foot is kicking back and up. And then with control, release and come on down. Open your knees as wide as the mat and sit on back to child's pose. Taking time to feel, to notice the changes that are happening. Maybe your breath is a little quicker after that last one. Mine is. Just observe. And then slowly lifting on up. Bring your knees together and rise, come forward into a plank pose. So you're welcome to do plank from your knees if that serves you. Or holding here. One thing I notice a lot with students on plank is that the head wants to drop. So just be mindful that you keep the back of your head lifted, gazing slightly forward. And from here, lower down slowly. Inhale, lift to a small cobra. Exhale down. Take your hands down by your sides. We're going to move through 3 arm positions here. So roll the shoulders up. Inhale, lift head up, chest up, arms up. And exhale, lower down. Bend the arms into cactus pose. When you're ready, inhale, rise. Just a small lift, warming the back body. Exhale, lower. And last one is hands under the forehead. When you're ready, inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. Hands by the chest. Please push back, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg towards the ceiling. Exhale, come forward to plank pose. Holding here. Lower the back foot. Lower the entire body down. Hands to your sides. Engage your core. Little tone through the buttocks. And then let's put all 3 of those arm positions together. Inhale, rise, lifting the legs as well this time if that feels right for you. Holding here, bring the hands to cactus. And hands under the forehead. And lower down. Hands at your side. Pressing back, downward facing dog. And pause here to reconnect with your Ujjayi breath. Now please lift your left leg up, extend it, reaching long, arms stay forward, and then come forward to plank, back of the head stays lifted. You're very welcome to lower your foot or your knees, and then please lower and come all the way down. Once again, arms at your sides, chin resting down. Inhale, lift everything, arms, legs. The gaze is downward, not out. Please look down, the long cervical spine. And then bring the arms to cactus pose. Really feel yourself rising. Not over-efforting, but just energetically lifting. Hands under the forehead. And then hands beside the chest, legs go down, and lift to Cobra. From here, curl the toes under, lift to the knees, hips move back, get a long spine, and then rise up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And now step your left leg forward up between your hands. Pause here. Spin your back foot down, the back foot facing straight out, and come upright and bring your arms out to your side. Virabhadrasana 2. You might explore, what does it feel like if I go a little more parallel with the front thigh? Pausing here, and we'll add those arms that we learned earlier. So back breathing. Inhale, ribs go back as you round and look inward. Exhale, open expansively. Inhale, stretch high. And then exhale, turn and look towards the front hand as you pause and deepen. Leaning a little towards the back hand here. And then reaching on down, touch the mat. Stepping back through downward facing dog. Pausing here, bend your knees. And look back at your feet. Hug your feet and your shins towards each other. Feel the inseam of your leg become more active. Then keeping that, push your thighs back ever so slightly. Create a gentle lumbar curve in your pelvis, tilting the pelvis. And then right here, through the middle, draw up through your ribs and core so you can maintain that. And then push strong through your arms. And now please step your right foot forward. Back foot comes down for warrior two. Arms come out to the side. Lunging deep. Again, you might investigate. Does it feel like if I change the way I do this, if I'm always here, what might it feel like if I explored something different, maybe a little deeper? Inhale the arms around as you look inward. Exhale, open, lengthen up. Inhale, reach long to the sides of your body. And exhale, coming to that deep seat in your warrior two. Feeling Ujjayi breath present. Let it be an anchor for your awareness. Let it help you change the energetic makeup of you, encouraging increased vitality. And then reach down, touch the mat. I think I was starting to go into the splits there. Step back and coming to downward facing dog. Take a moment here to lower your knees. And a variation of child's pose that I quite like. Come to your forearms. Let your head bow. And then upstream in your spine, let the pelvis rise so there's a lumbar curve. And then just pause there. Let your head drop. And now from here, lifting on up. We're going to change our downward facing dog. This is kind of a funky variation, but I hope you like it. Again, a little change here. So we're going to come up to downward facing dog and take your feet as wide as your mat. And then put a little bend in your knees. And now with your hands, you're going to walk back just a little bit. So this dog's going to feel short. Bring your hands closer together where your thumbs almost touch. Thumbs almost touching. Then bend your knees deeply and reach your left arm across, a twisted dog, and hold the outside of your right shin, ankle, anywhere over here. And then begin to turn and look underneath. You can keep your legs bent, or you could explore straightening, see what feels right for you. And this right arm, keep it lifting up, so your shoulders lifting towards your fingertips in the strongest position. Then knees bend, hand comes back down to the mat. And then if you're ready for the second side, here we go. Right arm over, hold on firmly, begin to twist and turn. Straighten the legs if you choose, or keep them bent. The left armpit is rising towards my fingertips. And coming back to center. And from here, your legs are still wide. Walk your hands back to your feet. And in this position, bring your feet just a little closer together. Bend your knees deeply. And bring your arms onto your thighs. Sitting here. I have these blocks. They're perfectly placed here. Imagine that you had a little chair right behind you. It's a low chair. And you're going to lower your bottom down, not touch it, but get really close. And just pause here. See and feel your legs. Notice what they might be communicating to you. And then from here, push down through your strong legs to stand all the way up. Stand really tall. Are you feeling any different? Are you feeling some changes happening? Come on to the center of your mat. So from here, let's see where we're going next. There's different directions we could go. Let's see. Oh yeah, so we're gonna do a little arm pattern again. Bring your arms in what we call a cactus pose, or a W, out to the sides. And from here, I'm gonna ask you to twist to your left. So you'll turn to your left. And once you've turned, even turn your head and look at your back hand. Then just extend straight arms from your elbows up to your fingertips. So one arm is reaching forward, straight up from your chest. The other arm is reaching back. And then bend your arms again and come back to center. Repeat that to the second side. Just simply twist to your right. Just let the head turn. And then extend the arms. So it's really two parts there. Bend the arms and come back center. So we're going to add on one more part to that, the lean. So we're going to turn to the right. Let your head turn, complete the twist. Extend the arms straight up. And now we're going to lean. Just let your right arm come down by your right thigh. And bring the left arm up and just lean back. You're still looking back. Just lean. Put them up to the corner of the room here. And then come back around to center. Bring your arms back into cactus pose. Turn to your opposite side. Extend your arms. Pause. Really extend your arms. And then lean back. I feel my hand coming down and touching the back of my left thigh or right thigh. And extending and leaning. Oh, feels so good. And then come back to center into cactus pose. And then release your arms. All right, let's merge that into a sequence now. So back on up to the front of the mat. Pausing for a moment with hands apart. More and more, as I practice, as I've matured and practiced, I really enjoy the pauses in my practice, just as much as the poses, actually even more so, I think. But it's in the pauses that we have time to actually feel what we're doing, to notice changes that are happening. So they're so valuable. It's just really, really a treasure to pause and breathe and feel and notice. So I want to encourage you to embrace those pauses. So hands at the heart. It's like pressing the pause button on your life for a moment. It's such a gift. Opening the arms now to cactus pose. Rise up through your spine. And then begin to twist to your right. Extend your arms straight out. And lean back. Lean back. And then come back up, bring your arms right on around, make it fancy if you want to cactus pose. Twist to your other side. Extend your arms fully. Lean back. And rise and come back all the way down now to forward fold. Let your head descend. Ujjayi breath. And now stepping your left leg back to deep lunge, lower the back knee to the mat. Coming on up to cactus pose, lengthening through your spine. Inhale, rise and twist. Extend your arms on out. And then lean back. So you can decide how far you want to lean. You might touch your opposite thigh and look towards your right. And then come on back home, all the way down to the mat. Lift up, step back down dog. Forward to plank. Exhale down. Inhale to cobra. Shoulders back apart, drawing forward. Exhale Back to downward facing dog. Pause, take a deep breath of integration. And stepping your left leg forward, back knee down, upright with cactus arms. Twisting to your left, so hug your legs towards each other, that will help with stability. Extend your arms fully. And then lean on back. Maybe touching the back of your thigh. You might reach out to your ankle or your foot. You can make it a little more like a variation of Shavasana. And then rise and come all the way up. Lifting the back leg, step forward. Forward bend. Inhale, swing the arms, reach up to stand up. And exhale, hands to heart. And just feel. Feel your breath. Feel any changes in your body, in your mind, in your soul. So now we'll combine a few things that we've already practiced. Remember a while back when we were on the floor and we were lifting on our stomachs? So we'll have that component. We'll have a balance component, and we will have a component of a back leg that's bent. So coming into a standing position, bring your arms into Cactus Pose. You want to keep awareness through our core here. I'll keep reminding you. So bring your arms at your sides and just take a moment to rotate your hands out so your pinky fingers go back, and gently slide the shoulder blades on your back. Not pinching them on the back, but just slide them on a little bit. From here, bend your knees into a chair position. I call this skydiver. Although I've never gone skydiving, this must be what it feels like. So you're going to shift the weight onto your left foot. And from here, bring the back right leg up and just bring the heel in towards your bottom. Yeah, I need a little extra awareness in my core here. My standing leg is staying bent, notice that. And now remember when we were on our stomach, a sense of lifting up. So even though we're tilting and going down, don't let gravity push you around. Lift up into it. And then you just start to bend over a little bit more. You can use your arms like rudders here. And engage your core. I'm kicking my back heel towards the ceiling. Lifting up through the back of the body. You can make it fancy with your arms. See, I'm trying my best not to fall. And then come back in. Well, that was fun. Let's try the other side. Planting your right foot, bend a little. Find that lumbar curve and some tone through your core. And then bring your arms up. Turn your palms out, shoulder blades on your back. And remember to keep the throat back, so we're not chicken necking here. From here, you're going to shift weight onto the right leg. And then just take your time. Slowly evolve into your posture. Make it your own. So as I lean forward, I have to remind myself to lift up like Cobra into the arms of gravity. I rise. And then just exploring all the little movements and nuances, not freaking out or panicking if I think I'm going to fall. Worst case, I just start over, right? So, really using a strong back body and a strong front body. They're learning to work together as a team. And then rise. Oh, that was fun. Let's take a block. And just checking the time here, because I could go on and on. Wouldn't that be fun? Have I said that 3 times now? Isn't that fun? I'm thinking right now we need a little fun in our lives. There's been a lot of stressful energy around, and today I was just thinking when I woke up, I need to shift my thought process because I have been swirling around in that place of little fear and anxiety of the unknown. And so today it was like I have to shift into a different place. It doesn't just happen overnight, but it starts with awareness first. So maybe you want to jump on board with me about that, shifting my mental state. And that shift happens by thoughts, by words, like how I'm speaking about things, and by actions. So just watching those three, the trifecta of change, I call it. So from here, we're going to do one more standing posture. And it is half moon, as you might know it. But I'm going to ask you to do the skydiver instead of the half moon. So it's like half moon with a bent back leg. So let's just go for it. I think whatever we just did a minute ago, that skydiver, we're just going to take that and turn it on its side. And so it will be like a variation of half moon. If you want to block, you can put a block over here on your left side. Not straight out from the foot, but a little over to the corner pocket, off to the little toe side. And then from here, we'll start in skydiver, and we'll turn the corner and go into what might be a funky variation of half moon. So set your shoulder blades on your back, engage your abdomen, sweet lumbar curve, and really strong legs here. Long spine through the back of the neck. And then you start to shift your weight onto the left foot. Find yourself arriving gradually in that place of skydiver. It's an upward sense of movement, a sense of levity in your spine. And then you start to slowly reach down your hand to the block or the floor. I'm going to use the block today. And then from here, you just start to open the back leg. Notice my leg is still bent back there. And I still have a nice curve, a lumbar curve in the low back. So you can just think of your spine now going into a cobra, but you happen to be on your side, right? So just engage your core and just explore. Ooh, this might feel different, which is good. We're exploring change in our practice. And then make your way on back. That was exciting, wasn't it? Let's try the other side. Maybe you fell over, and I do that all the time. The more I fall, the more I learn. The more I learn about how I react to how I fall. So we're going to bend the knees. And bring the arms up in the cactus pose. And then from here, shift the weight onto the right foot. Lift your left leg up. And again, just make this your own. Maybe you decide you're going to stay right here and practice this one again. If you decide you want to go to the next one, you can bring the right hand down. And then I like to keep awareness on the low back here, so I'm not tucking under. I'm keeping a nice lumbar curve. But yet on the front side of my body, on the abdomen, I have to keep really drawn in. Good connection there. Back leg is strong. And then I'm just incrementally opening. What are the possibilities here? I don't know. Each day is different. You can keep playing with it. And then make your way on home to both feet grounded. Good work. Bringing yourself down to the mat now. And let the block, if you have a block, just bring it out of your way. Bring your legs out in front of you. Take a moment to sit with your legs straight. Just sitting nice and tall in what we call dandasana or staff pose. You may want to put your fingers on the floor if that assists you in keeping length in your spine. And then feel your pelvis on the floor, feel your legs, close your eyes. And just start to notice any effects or benefits from this practice so far. It was sprinkled with probably things that were well known to you, but also perhaps a few ideas that were different, that invited you to perhaps shift on some level. And then let the eyes come open. And move to a position called boat pose, and I'll give modifications and options here for you. So first one would be, do your best to keep your spine lengthened, but not so much that you're poking the chest and ribs forward. So there's a bracing, a drawing back, and more of a cohesiveness, a connection here. So be mindful of that. Leaning back ever so slightly, see if you can call upon that bracing to assist you. And now from here, you might stay right here. Be very respectful of your low back and what it's communicating to you. If you just choose to go further, you can bring your legs up maybe to a bent position, perhaps even holding on to the legs. My good friend Ross Rayburn taught me this. He said, squeeze the back of your legs and pull your leg bones down into the hip capsule and keep pulling the legs down in and see about straightening. I kind of like that variation. Thank you, Ross. And extending, flare your toes a little, get happy feet. So you might stay here holding your legs for a couple more Ujjayi breaths, or you might choose to reach your arms on out. And then bending the knees, place the feet down, and from here lengthen up through your spine, and then round into cat pose. And lengthening back up, find that position for a second boat. So we're going to engage the core, start to tilt back. And then from here, yogi's choice. You can keep your toes down, or you can start to lift your legs, giving yourself support. If you want to squeeze the leg and pull it back into the socket, and then from there you might extend. Interesting feeling. And now for those of you that want to go a little further, an option would be this. Follow along. We're going to go to half boat and quarter boat and half boat and full boat. Here we go. We're coming down to half boat. Right here where your toes are about in line with your eyes. And then quarter boat, we drop down just a little further but not touching the ground. And then coming back up to half boat. And then all the way back up to full boat. You can hold the legs if you want. Woo. And then bring your legs on down. Good job. All right. I think it's time to start to recline on the floor. But what I want to do is have you find a block and go ahead and place the block on your mat. Now, if you don't have a block, you can still do this, okay? But the block just increases the range of motion. So I'm going to place the block here and put my right foot on it. And then just take a moment. Let yourself be held, right? Just let yourself be held. Maybe you've been holding everyone else, and trying to hold everything all together in your life, in your family or your work. This practice is for you to just be held. I always think that I'm just being held by grace, by something bigger than myself. There's comfort in that. So placing your foot on the block or on the floor, you're going to press down through your arms and begin to elevate or lift your pelvis into a bridge position. And then from here, option is to lift the leg. And then awareness now on your right side here. You're going to slowly lower your pelvis down until it touches the floor. And then push and come all the way back up. Engage. And then slowly come down until it touches the floor. And extend. And reach up. One more time. So awareness here. It's important for us to keep a strong backside. This time we're going to cross the ankle over. Pause here for a moment. I'm pushing my ankle down into my thigh bone and extending the left knee out. And then a really slow drawing down. The pelvis comes down smiles when it arrives. And then we're going to lift the legs and bring them into the chest. Relax your shoulders here. Just take a few moments, maybe even gently rocking side to side. Ujjayi breath. And then from here, pausing in the middle and extend your leg up, the leg that you're holding, extend that on up. And both legs up. You can stay right here, or you might explore taking the legs over just a little bit. You know your body, maybe you want to go all the way over and reach to the floor. And then slowly coming back down. And we'll move the block. And you can be creative. Look, you can like use your feet and move the block over, or you could sit up and use your hands. I think I'm feeling a little lazy there. So left foot on the block. Nice full open chest here. We'll begin to press down to the left foot. Lift the pelvis up first, and then option to lift the leg. From here, lift up high enough that you feel an activation through your left butt cheek, gluteal, and then slowly lower down, let the pelvis touch. Pressing down again, rise and pause at the top. And lower down. Last one, lifting on up. And this time we're going to cross the ankle over. Pause here as you press the ankle into the thigh. And it's an energetic extension of this thigh bone moving out through the knee. And then lowering your pelvis. You might stay here, or option 2 is to bring the legs on in. Find comfort in your breath. And then extend your leg on up. Both legs up. And now taking the legs into happy baby pose. You can bring the legs out to the sides, and variation might be just to hold your ankles, or perhaps reach to the little toe sides of your feet, wherever it's available for you. So right now, feel your back, your low back is rounded. It has to be in this position. Then we're going to change that, just a variation. So the hand placement changes now, right behind your knees. And then we'll ask you to move your legs away from your torso so as to get a space under your low back. Let the feet drop down, and then press your thighs forward into your hands, and just feel a nice opening under your lumbar, under your low back. And remember what I told you about my friend Ross Rayburn. If you squeeze the legs and pull them down into the hip socket, that's comforting as well. Just draw down. My legs are trembling a little bit right now. And then place your feet on the ground. Oops, move that block out of the way. And open your legs to Supta Baddha Konasana, or butterfly pose. And I would invite you again here just to make sure there's a pocket of space under your low back, that you're not pressed flat here. Just a little natural curve, not overdoing it. And then extend your arms above your head for a moment. And breathe in a deep, full breath. And exhale completely. Another breath in as you're ready. And release. One more time, inhaling. And release it. And let the arms float up and just arrive on your abdomen. Eyes can close and just take a moment, pressing that pause button again. So empowering to be able to have an opportunity to do that. I get to pause my life right now. There's such power in those pauses. And now starting to bring your legs back together and draw the knees in towards your chest. And placing the feet down on the mat. Take a moment. We're going into Shavasana now, so if you would like to put on a sweatshirt or cover up, just do what you need to do. And once you're situated, and lift the chest just slightly, drawing the shoulder blades under you, and let the legs extend on out. Let your arms rest at your sides. And take some time now to give your body complete permission to let go, to absorb. Some time of deep rest. This beautiful reset for your nervous system. And also allowing any changes, any small shifts or large shifts to sink in to the cells of your body, to the fabric of your mind and your heart. Continuing to rest in this very open and receptive position. Bringing your awareness to your breath. Simply notice that you're breathing really effortlessly. It's happening to you. Just feel as you receive each breath. Especially on the exhalation, pay attention. And see if you can slow the exhalation down just a little bit. Normal inhalation, followed by a long, slow, steady exhale. body being held, supported. The universe has your back. All will be well. Starting to deepen your breath. Just bringing in a little more of that precious nourishment into your lungs. And as you're ready, begin to move the hands, the fingers, the toes, the feet, the ankles, starting to gently awaken. Drawing the knees towards your chest and take your time rolling to your right side. And then pressing on up to a seat. Once you arrive in your seat, once again, just close the shades down over your eyes, taking a few last moments here, pressing the pause button. And simply notice how you feel. Did anything shift in your physical body? Do you feel lighter? Do you feel more spacious? In your mind, perhaps a little calmer. Your emotions might be a little more stable. And deep inside, deep inside the core of you, the soul we call it, the part that never changes, the one true constant. Notice how that feels. Leave you with these beautiful words from author Jack Canfield. Change is the only constant in life. For some people, the idea of constant and never-ending change is terrifying because change often involves risk and loss, possibly of something big, like your house, your job, your money, your friends, your family, or just the loss of whatever is comfortable and familiar. Some people see change as something to fear or dread, instead of something that is a new adventure that has the potential to improve them or their life. That's what change actually is. It's an opportunity for you to experience something new and to grow and evolve as a person. Change asks you to learn new things, master new skills, develop new qualities like flexibility, optimism, courage, and persistence, all of which ultimately results in you becoming a better, more capable person. And that's a good thing. Because the ultimate goal of life is not just a life of comfort, but a life of mastery. And mastery only develops when we are confronted with challenges. When you try to resist change, you rob yourself of the experiences that can transform your life on all levels. When you welcome and embrace change, you openly allow yourself to cooperate with the natural evolution that is the reality of existence on this earth. Hands join in front of the heart. And just bow, honoring the sacred time you've given yourself. As we move back into our lives, may we just be aware of our thoughts, our words, our actions. If we are open to change, to shifting that's all around us, life can be a little smoother, a little less stressful perhaps. Thank you for joining me for this practice today. Namaste.